Hey guys, I am standing in my bathroom. I am finishing up my skincare and I ordered a couple of skincare products that just came in, and I was sitting here kind of unpacking the box. And so I started to think about the skincare products that I have repurchased the most, because one of the products that I just purchased that came in, I have repurchased so many times, and I was just thinking about other things in my collection, and I've done a video like this before, if not exactly like this and very similar, but I thought it would be worth revisiting the skincare products that I have repurchased the most. I get sent a lot of products as a beauty content creator, especially skincare, so I thought it would be really meaningful to let you know what are the products that I have repurchased myself the most, products that maybe I was sent in PR that I continue to purchase myself afterwards. So why don't I go ahead and get started with what I just purchased and what I'm unboxing here. But I purchased the Repurchased Luminous Cleansing Elixir. I was using this a little bit earlier and I've moved on to a different cleansing balm. But I got real antsy knowing that I didn't have any of this on hand. So I just went ahead and purchased this, and I also got the Skin Brilliance priming pads from Repurchased. So this product has chemical exfoliants in there, which I have to be very careful of because I have very sensitive skin, but I have, talked to the Repurchased team. They have assured me that while I don't want to use this every single day, if I were to use this maybe just a couple times during the week, that it's gentle enough that it should be fine. And so I started slowly with these pads, and I just use it down here in my jaw because I have just some texture. I don't have any makeup on right now. I just finished up my skincare routine. And so I don't know if you guys can see it, but I just have some uneven texture here. I also have like some hyperpigmentation. Anyway, I use this every once in a while, and when I placed the order for this, I realized I didn't have any of these left. So this is probably my second repurchase of these pads. But this Luminous Cleansing Elixir, you guys have heard me talk about, just so often. It is the first product that I experienced from Repurchased, which is such a solid skincare brand. Their products are so impeccable. They're so refined. Most, if not all of the products are waterless, so pretty much everything is concentrated. You just need a teeny tiny bit. And this cleansing elixir is basically, it's described like a cleansing balm, but it's not like a typical balm that you have to kind of break down. It's kind of solid in a jar. This is actually in an airless pump, and it comes out pretty much like broken down for you already, but it has the most silky texture, and it is such an effective cleansing balm, but so gentle, doesn't leave any residue on my skin. I absolutely love it. I can't even tell you how many of these I've purchased, because I definitely purchased the first few that I went through on my own, and then Repurchased definitely has sent me some in the past, and then I've repurchased this one. So this is definitely one of my most repurchased products, and going forward, I will definitely continue to repurchase this Luminous Cleansing Elixir. So the next product is much like the Repurchased Luminous Cleansing Elixir in that I purchased probably the first 2 or 3 bottles on my own. I just fell in love with it. It ended up being a step in my skincare routine that I never did, and then once I started using this product, it was a step that I had to do. And since then, I think I've been sent maybe a few bottles here and there, but the most recent bottle of this I have definitely purchased on my own as well. But this is the Sisley Essential Skincare Lotion. And I remember when I went to the Sisley counter and they were talking about this product, I was confused. I always conflated like lotions and creams. That was kind of the same thing to me, and maybe up until this point they were. But this lotion is the step that I do after I use toner, if I use toner, or after I just simply wash my face. It's a very thin texture, and what it's supposed to do is like prep your skin for the rest of your skincare. And I thought, this seems gimmicky. This seems like they're just pushing yet another skincare step that I have to perform. But I thought, let me give it a shot. And I remember it was probably, I don't know, like halfway through my first bottle, I traveled without it because I thought, well, it's nice, but I don't need it. It's an extra step in my skincare routine that is not necessary. And I remember on that trip, I was like, oh no. I remember feeling like my skincare, without putting this on first, just sort of sat on top of my skin. They didn't seem very effective or as effective as they were when I was using this. So I remember I went home and I started using this again. I was like, is it this? And I came to the conclusion that it was. And ever since then, I do not miss the lotion step in my skincare routine. I also do not travel without this anymore. And in fact, if you followed me around New York, during my New York City vlog, I mentioned how I decant this into a little bottle from Sicily that they give out. It's like a gift with purchase. I've kept that and I just fill that up every single time I travel. So ever since this product, I cannot go without that lotion step between cleansing and toning and the rest of my skincare. Usually after this, I'll put on my serum, an oil, an eye cream, and a cream. All of those products or any kind of combination of those products. But I really have come to appreciate the lotion step, and I have lost track of how many bottles of this I have gone through. So compared to the rest of the products I'm going to be talking about in this video, this is relatively new to my routine and my collection, but this is the Dr. Barbara Sturm. I don't know why I cannot say Dr. Barbara Sturm like a normal person. Dr. Barbara Sturm, that's how it comes out. Anyway, the hyaluronic serum. Now, my memory is not so good, and I'm trying to remember where or why I first used this serum. I believe I first used this serum because they sent it to me, and I believe it was for a sponsorship. It was for an Instagram reel, and it was something that I was doing with Sephora and Dr. Barbara Sturm. I asked for the time to test it out and everything to make sure there was, it didn't bother my skin first and foremost, and then my experience with it, of course, and whether or not I thought it was effective. And I really fell in love with it. I had tried other hyaluronic products at the time. Hyaluronic, acid was like the big buzz ingredient at that point. It was probably fading a little bit when I tried this one. And so I had tried a few at that point and I thought, they're okay. And I learned quite a bit about it because I live in a very dry environment. And if that's the case, you definitely have to layer something on top of the hyaluronic acid. Otherwise, it's going to pull moisture from your own skin, which is what you don't want to do. It was also the time when people were, putting hyaluronic acid on before like a flight. And people were like, don't do just the hyaluronic acid. Make sure you put something on top over it. I'm sure you guys remember. So anyway, I remember playing around with a bunch of different products and thinking, they make my skin feel nice, but I didn't feel like my skin felt extra moisturized per se. I didn't feel like my skin looked or felt any more plump or juicy, which is what hyaluronic acid is supposed to do, and I have very dry skin. So I kind of gave up on it. It was like an ingredient that I kind of stopped looking for in products, and then I tried this, and I actually saw and felt a difference in my skin. My skin just felt more pliable, and I felt like just a couple days of use, I felt like my skin just looked more plump. It was noticeable. And so anyway, after using up that first bottle, I believe I've gone ahead and purchased 2 more of these. So this is my 3rd bottle. And this has been like the gateway product for me for other Dr. Barbara Sturm products because I fell in love with this so much. And I think I purchased this, this most recent bottle during the Sephora VIB sale, the past one that they had in the fall. So anyway, this is a great hyaluronic serum. So Revive Skincare is a line that I have very slowly, like over the past 6 years, just tried like, one product at a time, really kind of spent time with it. As you guys know, I love that chin mask that they have. It's so good. It's like an instant firming situation. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but it is awesome. It like hooks onto your ears. Anyway, that's such a great product. But the first 2 products that I tried from them, and I can't remember like which one I tried first. Let's talk about this actually. This is the Le Polish. And I know this was never sent to me in PR. Every single tube of this I purchased myself. So this is a micro resurfacing treatment. And because I have sensitive skin, I tend to stay away from chemical exfoliants. I just think, why chance it if my skin does seem to react poorly to chemical exfoliants? It takes a while for it to kind of recover. So it's something I don't like to dabble in kind of willy-nilly. I like to use it very slowly. I'm very careful with it. I observe my skin afterwards, etc., etc. Anyway, this is a physical exfoliant, and it is so fine in the grits of it. And so it really is more of like a polish versus an exfoliant, and it is absolutely divine. The texture of this, and I know I've talked about this on my channel before, the texture of this is almost like clay-like. I don't know if you can see it. It's clay-like, so there's a thickness to it. And what I like to do is use it in the shower, but I haven't like run my face under the water yet. So there's a little bit of moisture on my skin because I find maybe it's a little bit too harsh for my sensitive skin if I go in straight onto dry skin. But I do like using it just on like slightly moist skin, nothing like wet, because I feel like it just sort of falls apart. And it is, like I said, it's so fine. Yeah, I feel like I'm polishing my skin instead of just like exfoliating the top layer of my skin. I really feel like I'm polishing it up. If you like a physical exfoliator, if you have sensitive skin and you find that you can't use chemical exfoliants, I would definitely try this. I've lost track. I don't know how many tubes of this that I've used. This has got to be like my 4th or 5th, but this is my absolute favorite exfoliator slash polish for my face. I have other exfoliators that are like cleansers with some little beads in there, and those I'll use on occasion, but this is not a cleanser. This is like just a straight up exfoliator. That is all it does. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The other Revive product you guys have heard me talk about recently and often is their Soleil Superior. It's their SPF 50. And the first tube of this was sent to me. It was sent to me by Cosbar, I remember, like 6 years ago. And at that point, my skin was still very picky. I say sensitive, but things that bothered a lot of other people's skin wouldn't bother my skin. My skin would be bothered by things that normally wouldn't bother people's skin. It would bother mine. And so I say my skin is sensitive, but really it's just very, very picky. So I was playing around with a lot of SPFs at the time, and I was playing around with physical ones, chemical ones. Some would bother my skin, some wouldn't. It was like I was trying to figure out which ones were the best for my skin. Anyway, this was sent to me and I was like, ooh, SPF 50. And I had recently moved to Las Vegas at that point and wasn't in the habit of wearing SPF all the time, let alone SPF 50. And so I was very, very intrigued by this product. The texture, I remember squeezing this out and I was like, ooh, this is an SPF. It's so silky. It is like a lotion. I feel like when I wear this in the summertime, I don't even need to put lotion on during the day. I'll just go from my serum to this, straight to this. It is glorious. The texture of this is really incomparable. The only one that comes close is the Clé de Peau UV Protective Cream. That's also an SPF 50 that I also use like in lieu of moisturizer if I feel like, I just don't want that much product on my skin. But that product has always been sent to me, which I'm very fortunate and very grateful for. Anyway, I didn't want to mention that product in this video because this is about products I've personally purchased. So this one I have gone out and purchased myself several times, and the texture is incredible, absolutely incredible. This is another product I'm sure I have mentioned several times on this channel, and I have purchased, again, numerous tubes of this, but this is the Sisley Velvet Sleeping Mask with saffron flowers. I love the Sisley like velvet line. I have their cream, I have their body lotion. It's so good. I keep hinting to Sisley that they need to come out with a fragrance. That is the fragrance that they use in here. I'm assuming saffron is the leading note in here. Oh my God, it's so good though. But this has got to be one of my favorite like non-sheet masks. It will just make you look well rested. I don't know how else to put it. It's something that I like to use during trips, before and after trips. It's divine. It's like the nap version of a mask. It'll literally look like you just took like a spa getaway, a little spa retreat, like you'll look completely invigorated. It is so good. And I've used the, is it Black Rose? The Black Rose mask from Sisley that I know they're known for, that people love. I really enjoy that mask as well, but I like this one better. I really like this one better. And I've gone through tubes of that. This makeup remover from Kogan Do, again, I have completely lost track with how many I have gone through. And I first purchased this long before I was a content creator here on YouTube. I purchased my first bottle at Barney's, and I remember chuckling, and I was laughing with the sales associate there because on the bottle, it says not for human consumption. And I was like, cleansing spa water. That's so funny. I never even thought that people would think to drink it, and it is clear. But anyway, this cleansing spa water is so good. It's very effective. It's very gentle, and it doesn't leave like a residue on my skin. Now there have been not often, but like a few nights here and there where I've just gone in and removed my makeup with this product and then gone straight to bed. Didn't proceed with the rest of my skincare, was either too tired, maybe too drunk, whatever the case is. And if I were to do that with any other makeup remover, I would wake up feeling crusty. I don't know how else to put it. I would wake up feeling crusty. I would wake up feeling, I don't know, dry and just gross. And I would wake up after using just this and my skin would feel fine. It's so good. I mean, I won't go so far as to say my skin felt like moisturized and fresh. It didn't feel like I completely like skipped my skincare routine that night. So it is very effective because it does remove all of my makeup. When it comes to waterproof mascara, you definitely have to let this kind of sit and break apart the mascara a little bit, but it will do it. It just takes a little bit of time. It doesn't feel oily. This isn't like biphasal. You don't have to shake it up or anything. It's incredible. I don't know what magic this is. I don't know if there's like some mountain in Japan this comes from. I really have no idea, but it is so good. So this product, like a lot of my other ones, I've been sent some bottles. I know I have purchased bottles, so I've lost track, but this is the makeup remover that I need to have at all times. So this next product is not for my face skin, it's for my hand skin. This is the Aesop Reverence Aromatic Hand Balm. And I will make the grand statement that I think this is the best hand lotion I have ever used. And I don't like hand lotion. I don't like the feeling of lotion on my hands, but this not only like soaks into your skin quickly, but it's so effective. It's so effective. I don't feel like I have to reapply it all day after every single hand wash because it really gets in there, it really conditions your skin. And I used to get the tube of this. So I think it basically comes in two sizes. The smaller size is in this tube. This is the larger size. I stopped bothering with that little tube and I just started going straight to the hand pump. My husband also loves this, so I keep it up here in the bathroom for both of us. And at one point I remember he was using this on his body too, and I was like, don't waste the hand pump. It's just for your hands. I'm like, use a different body lotion. He was like, oh my God, okay. So anyway, the hand balm from Aesop, so great. I've gone through probably 3 or 4 of those tubes. This is probably my second or third pump bottle, but this is so good. It is so good. Okay, last but certainly not least, because you know, these 2 products are probably the 2 products in my skincare collection that I have repurchased the most because I've been using this product for like 25 years now. And La Mer, it's so funny to talk about La Mer because in my comment section, I'll get a ton of people who are like, waste of money, don't bother. And other people who are like, can't live without it. So this is a very polarizing product, but I have been purchasing this for a long time. I, again, am very fortunate and so grateful that now La Mer does send this to me. Not regularly, but you know, when they have mailers or whatever, I am included on their list. So I am so grateful for that. But I spent, you know, about 22 years purchasing this over and over. So how many jars of that? I probably have purchased like 50 jars of that. And it was just such a lifesaver when I was dealing with horrible eczema. It has been the absolute best thing for my skin barrier. And like I mentioned, my skin, while I would just categorize it as sensitive, it really is just very picky because I think a lot of people with very sensitive skin would have an issue probably with the fragrance in here. My skin has no problem with the fragrance. So of course it's gonna be personal what works for you and what doesn't, but I love this cream. I love the moisturizing cream. You don't need a lot of this. It is so dense. And when you warm it up and it turns translucent in your hands and you press it in, you realize how little you need. It just goes such a long way. So I love the moisturizing cream. And when my skin started to become a little bit more resilient, a little bit less reactive and super duper sensitive, I kind of downshifted to the moisturizing soft lotion. I liked the fact that it was in a pump versus a jar. I could just travel with this a little bit easier, and this was great in the summertime. So when I lived in New York, you know, especially in the summertime, you would get ready, whatever, my hair would still be wet, I'd be running out the door, you'd walk into the subway station and the sweat would just start pouring down. So I didn't like to put lotion on before I went to the office, before I got into the air conditioning, because it would just sweat right off. And so I would throw one of these into my bag, and when La Mer came out with like all the different varieties of the cream, I started purchasing this, and it was great in the summertime because I could throw this into my bag and put it on, you know, just like a little bit more quickly. I would just kind of pump some out at my desk and like put it on quickly. And I wouldn't feel like it was too heavy because this is really, really thick, like I keep mentioning. So in the summertime, I'll use like a combination of this, like this during the day, this at night. When it's cold and windy out, when I went to New York, I wore this because it was super duper windy and very cold. So this is just like the most incredible protective layer to your skin. So it nourishes your skin and it protects it. And one comment that I get a lot from people who, you know, try La Mer maybe for the first time, they think it just sort of like sits on top of their skin. And two things I want to say is, one, maybe you're using too much, because this really, you just don't need a lot. I don't even want to say dime size, that's too much. Like literally like just like a fingernail, like a little scoop is more than enough. In fact, I'll demonstrate. Like this is more than enough for my face and my neck and my chin and everything. I'm gonna put that right back in the jar, precious. And the other thing I will mention is you definitely wanna warm up the product in your hands first. You wanna just like roll it around your hands. It will turn completely clear from the white until completely clear, and then just press it onto your skin. And it's almost like a time release formula, because it will kind of sit on top of your skin in like a very protective way, but it will be nourishing your skin at the same time. So anyway, I love, love, love the moisturizing cream. I love the soft lotion. You know, I'm a big fan of La Mer. So anyway, those are my most repurchased luxury skincare products. Let me know what some of yours are down below in the comment section. Would love to hear from you guys as always, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.